What's up, UC fam? Josh, your friendly food and beverage director, coming at you with another instructional cocktail video. One, because my camera person is very thirsty apparently, and two, to promote that your club is now offering to-go cocktails as well as to-go glasses of wine, beer, and Chef has put together a whole menu from the kitchen where he is offering some of the classics, chopped sirloin, fish and chips, and sandwiches. I hope so. He's gonna kill me. One of those cocktails that is on our list is going to be the Negroni, a cocktail so popular in the last 20 years that we've even dedicated a whole week to it around the country in late September. So look forward to that. But let's go ahead and get started with our cocktail. What you're gonna need is a Italian vermouth, aka sweet vermouth. Here we have some sort of gin. I'm using a London Dry. Typically when you order a Negroni out and about, you'll get a London Dry style, but at your own bar, you can do what you like, do what you please. Then we have Campari. Campari is an Amaro, meaning an Italian bitter. It's used in aperitif usually, and just something to kind of get the palate excited before dinner. And it's made from 60 to 80 ingredients of barks and tree roots. It's a protected recipe. It is quite bitter, so if you are sensitive to that, you can go for something a little less bitter in the same kind of Amaro family. It's a little less alcohol, so Aperol is an excellent choice. And then, of course, an orange wheel. What we're going to need next is some barware. Here we have a double old-fashioned glass. We have a mixing glass. I have something to strain as well as a stir spoon. We also have a jigger. You can, of course, free pour at your own bar, but the beauty of the Negroni is that it's equal parts, all three of these, and to get the true, lovely expression of one of my favorite cocktails, you want to get equal parts. Now, it's debated whether it comes on the rocks or up, served up neat. If you order in Italy, you're definitely going to get a cocktail that is built on the rocks and served to you that way. Most of the time in America, I'd say 76% of the time that I've ordered one out, you'll get it served neat in a martini glass. There's no wrong way to do it. It just depends on if you like a little bit more dilution or if you want a cocktail that's going to taste the same from beginning to end. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with making our Negroni. But first, let's look at some history of the Negroni. Like much of the history of multiple cocktails, can get a little blurry when you start looking back 100 years ago. But most likely, the most probable story is thanks to a man named Count Camillo Negroni. He was a Florence-born native who later moved to Manhattan. One of his favorite drinks was called the Americano, which is sweet vermouth, Campari, and club soda. Now, the Italians would never dream of drinking vermouth any other way than by itself. We Americans started making all these cocktails. The Manhattan is one, the Martinez, using vermouth and martini, of course, using vermouth as an ingredient in the cocktail. During this time in 1919 or so, Italians actually outlawed the word cocktail. That way no one could have one there in Italy. But one day he was drinking his Americano and he asked the bartender to beef it up a little bit. So he replaced the club soda with gin, and there you have the very first Negroni. This dude, Count Camillo Negroni, was known to drink 40 of these things in a day, which pretty wild. But back then they were drinking out of these smaller glasses, and so that's about a quarter the size of a regular Negroni. So in actuality, he was only drinking 10 Negronis a day. Still quite a bit. On to the cocktail. We're going to start with our mixing glass. I'm going to fill it with some sort of ice, and then we're going to pour equal parts of all three of our ingredients. So first we have the Italian or sweet vermouth. We have our London Dry gin. And we have our Campari. I'm now going to stir. It is a booze-based cocktail, so you don't shake, you want to stir. Stir for about 20 seconds. And then I'm going to pour this one over a large rock. Wow, we're already out. Lastly, you can either do a orange twist or orange wedge. Just throw it in there. Now that is a very pretty drink. And let's see how it tastes. Oh yeah, that's what it's all about. So to close, these cocktails, wine by the glass, beer, and full a la carte menu is now available. So you'll get an email about it. Send an email to Charlie. He'll put in the order. Get your cocktails all ready to go. And there you have it. Cheers, folks.